Morning, everybody. It is the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and I missed yesterday. I intended to do 5 days in a row of gratitude training, but I missed yesterday. So if you were looking for this video, I apologize. Thanks for checking back in. Today is the final day of the 5-day series, and today is probably for me the most exciting day because it's likely to be something that you have never heard about how to use gratitude. It's possible. And I did not invent this. So, but when I heard about it, it really changed everything for me. So, again, my name's Brad Earley from Dream Career Revival. We help burnt out professionals transition to, connect to their mission and purpose and then transition to their dream career. And this has just been a 5-day series on the occasion of Thanksgiving to talk about how to really unlock a powerful gratitude practice. So again, just to quickly review. Day 1, move beyond acknowledgement. If you're making lists, if you're thinking about things that you're grateful for each day, that's awesome. That's better than nothing. But if you're not feeling better, if you're not feeling more joyful, more relaxed, more connected, more abundant, it's not working as well as it could. So what do you do to make it work? Well, you need to get more specific, you need to dig in, and you need to keep digging into each thing until you actually feel something positive. So I did the example, started off with, I'm grateful for my wife. And then when I really thought about something specific about her that I was grateful for, I got to a character trait, which is that she's a really hard worker. And then that still didn't really move the muscle a whole lot, it didn't move the needle. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go a little bit further because it was true, but it was just like, I know that I can do better. And I was trying to show you this. So then I started to think about something specific, some evidence that she is a hard worker. And so I talked about all the stuff that she's doing on social media and pushing herself outside of her comfort zone and just, totally kicking butt with it. And then I was like, because I know her and because I know what that means for her and why it's challenging and also to see how it's unlocking really powerful stuff for her, then I felt inspired. It wasn't just that I felt grateful, I felt inspired. So that was awesome. And you all saw that happen. That was day 1. Day 2 was make it recent. So then we had this notion that like, okay, well, the thing with my wife and the social media, like what I was thinking about is sort of, it's sort of like over time. So then I invited all of you, and I did it myself as well. I invited you to think about 5 things from the previous day that you were grateful for. And again, very specific things. I'm grateful to be alive. No. I mean, if you are, that's great, but like why? What specifically about being alive are you grateful for? So I came up with 5 things from the previous day, and it was very specific things that actually happened on that day. And that was very important because again, when you think about things that you're grateful for, you want to have proximity to them. You want to be like, oh, well, 30 years ago, I had this great day at the beach. I mean, that's great. That's fine. It was a great day. And you are bringing it back, so it has some value. But the whole notion of gratitude is that you're trying to tune into the fact that all these beautiful things are happening in your life on a very regular basis. If you would just focus on them, really let them in and think about why they're important, why they're good, why they're positive. And keep thinking about it until, again, you feel good. And then there's some physiology that catches up where your chest opens up, your heart opens up, your shoulders drop. You're no longer on the defense. You're saying you're in receiving mode. You're just receiving how awesome your life is and all the people and all the things in your life. So then day 3 was share the wealth. And this was cool. This was, my first Instagram about all this, where it was like, basically I was saying, if your gratitude practice is only making you feel good, then you're not really doing it right. And if your gratitude practice hadn't even been making you feeling good and you were getting to that point where it was making you feel good, that might have felt a little bit weird, maybe even a little bit sad. But again, I was there for you and I told you what to do next. The whole notion was, again, if you're thankful, if you're grateful for someone very specific, for something very specific that they did the day before or very recently, tell them. Tell them how grateful you are. Tell them how amazing they are. Tell them specifically what they did that made you feel whatever you felt. And if there's a reason behind it, whatever, just, tell them. And then your gratitude practice is no longer just about making you feel good. Now your gratitude practice is about helping share the wealth. helping others feel good, helping others feel that their life has significance, has meaning, has purpose, that they influence others in a positive way, that other people notice them and other people are paying attention to them. This is very, very important. So then yesterday, well, it wasn't yesterday, it should have been yesterday, but anyway, day 4, Thanksgiving Day was about, hey buddy, Thanksgiving Day was about, okay. And we're back. My son just came in to ask me to blow his nose. So anyway, so then day 4 was about receiving. So when you share your gratitude with someone else, human nature, our sociology, our brain physiology, whatever, we're all about reciprocity. And so if we receive something, there's some part of us, usually, that wants to give back to that other person. Not always. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. It doesn't really mean anything negative necessarily. It's, again, when you share something freely, it often happens that you get something in return. So now your gratitude practice that started with just this list that wasn't making you feel better, now is making you feel something very specific and positive. You were attuning to the fact that gratitude, there are things in your life that you can be grateful for every single day if you just think about it. And then you can start to tell people what they're grateful for. And now your gratitude practice is getting better and you're sharing it with others, so it's getting even better. And now as you share it with others, now hopefully some of those people are starting to reflect back to you. Oh, wow, well, thank you for saying that. I'm really grateful for you too. So then again, now like, oh my goodness, all this stuff is now coming back to you just because of your gratitude practice. So today is a very special day because today again is probably something you haven't heard about gratitude and what to do with your gratitude practice. So now that you have figured out how to attune to gratitude in your life for the things that are actually happening and the people that are actually there, day 5 is about the future. Day 5 is the secret weapon. Day 5 is be grateful for your future. What does that mean? What does that look like? Well, as you get better and better at being grateful for the things in your life, what you will start to realize is that most of the things in your life that you're grateful for, you had nothing to do with, you had no control over, or very little control, or limited control, limited influence as far as bringing them into your life, making them happen. They just happened. Through the influence of others, through the influence of spirit, through the influence of, the creative force of the universe, whatever it is. They just happened. And even if they were just coincidence, even if you don't believe in all that stuff, still, they happened. So the notion is, so if it's not about just me and my control and my influence, and there is this abundance of things in my life that I'm grateful for that I had nothing to do with, now your opportunity is to think about the things and the people and the situations in your life that you want and be grateful for them, literally. Imagine, use your imagination to think about the things in your life that you want, the situations that you want, whatever it is. And I'm not going to limit you on that, and I'm not going to limit you certainly by giving you ideas. I'm telling you, anything that you want, that you're dedicated to, and that you're willing to do your fair share to get whatever it is, but that you're also willing to accept that forces greater than yourself will play a role in you getting it, then you don't have to worry and you can just be grateful. You can just be grateful for this future thing that hasn't manifested itself yet in this reality, but that you're starting to cultivate gratitude for. And your gratitude practice has gotten to the point where you're very, 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 very good at feeling grateful for things that are actually happening in your life or have already happened in your life. And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to use that bar, okay, that familiarity with the feeling of real gratitude, and you're trying to bring that sense of like that feeling to the future. Now, some people would call this faith, because you technically have no right to be grateful for something that doesn't exist yet, or that you don't see, or that you don't have, that hasn't happened yet. But that is limiting yourself to what you can control, what you can perceive. And deep gratitude turns into faith. And faith in what? That's totally up to you. And if you're triggered by the religiosity of that term, then you can pick something else, hope, whatever it is. The notion, though, again, is that you can be grateful for things that haven't even happened yet. And if you can use that same humility, that same sense of what gratitude really feels like, and you can just be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this amazing thing, and I have no idea how it's going to happen, but I am just so grateful because I know it's going to happen. I know that I'm going to do everything that I need to do and that I can do to make it happen. I know that. And I also know that forces greater than myself, whether it's other people or forces that are invisible, all of these things will happen and will conspire around this thing that I very deeply want, especially if it's something that brings you to your purpose in this world. So this wasn't even the longest training, which is awesome. So hopefully you stuck around to the end, because again, this is the secret weapon of gratitude. This notion that you can be grateful for something that isn't technically, visually in your possession. It hasn't happened yet. But the notion that you could use gratitude to bring these things into your life, and you can not worry about them. You could just be grateful for them. And again, not that that lets you off the hook of taking action. Not at all. It just removes you from the seat of power in this equation, to the extent that you're saying you don't have to know everything to do to make this happen and then go out and do it. All you need to know is what you know, and just keep taking action like you should, like you have been, and keep it moving and continuously be grateful. So instead of acting from desperation or acting from a sense of ego or whatever it is, not that ego is the worst thing, but acting from a place of hope and trust. And if you bring this into your life, I can tell you that if you have experiences like I've had, you'll be amazed. You will be amazed. And again, not just grateful. You will be amazed. And you will see what the power of gratitude really is, the power of your imagination, and the powers that are not within you, but they are from without. But they're all here and available to you. So, happy Thanksgiving. I hope this was helpful. I hope that it unlocks your practice and that it unlocks your experience of what's happening and what's possible in the world. All right. Take care. Bye.